Well, hello and welcome to Tarot for Our Times. Sarah Sachs, your medium on the go. And I pretty much thought I covered everything when I did my very lengthy hour, 20 minute video on the May forecast. And then, of course, I thought, oh, the muskrat. The muskrat. It was the video was long enough, so what I've decided to do, I mean, there's so much going on, there's only so much you can do in one video, that for this next week what I'll do is, if I think of anyone different or anything different, I'll make a video which will hopefully be shorter. And I'll do this, I guess, till probably maybe the end of the week, and maybe just creep it into the beginning of June. But I thought, oh, how could I leave the muskrat out? So here we've got the here he is, the titty baby card, the Page of Cups in reverse. So as an introduction, I've been spending some hours in catching up with him. So apparently, according to the Daily Beast, in the Trump Alabama U speech, he seemed to be throwing the muskrat and the tech bros under the bus. And that's what he does. So he was saying that he opposed to. He said in the past he was in opposition to him, but he said now he is, and I quote, kissing his ass. What a lovely speech to make to college graduates. Okay. So he also talked about the flaws in his cars, that they didn't drive long enough, they crashed. And then he went into the star, or whatever the hell that is thing, and the rocket ships to nowhere, and that he would be nothing without his subsidies. And I do have to say this. It's like the broken clock being right twice a day. I will, as much as I hate to, that's the one thing that the toddler in chief is really right about. So then we have Doge is weakening, but they've really done damage. I just shudder to think they're trying to get into our Social Security numbers, and that's in the Supreme Court. Hopefully they realize it's their Social Security numbers too. I'm sure that Clarence Thomas may want to think twice about that, or what they could dig up on him. So I'm just fingers crossed that they're not going to allow them to do that, and they are pretty weak without him. So and apparently the latest from the House is the House Republicans are not on board for all of the cuts. And CEOs have been pushing him out of Tesla, and apparently he has physically left the White House. And if he's smart, he'll be leaving the country. So I want to do some readings. Just a weekly reading like I did with the 3 cards, and then just a little finish about him leaving. I asked the question, will he be? Of course, I jotted that down before I heard that he actually left the White House, but he said he'd be working remotely, but I want to see if he's really on his way out. I should hope that he is on his way out. So there's so much, it's funny how the universe of the internet works. I thought, I kind of lost track of him a little bit, and I was wondering, what's going on with him? I don't see it. Then all of a sudden I see this whole barrage. Midas Touch, Occupy Democrats, Aaron Mockler, all of these people on there. So just going to give these cards a quick shuffle, and I think I'm going to be alternating the base cards for the weeks, just to mix it up a little bit, and I'll see if I can get all the weeks on the one spread, but probably not. Okay, so alrighty, so let's put this down here. Ooh. Okay, so the first week, okay, and the muskrat in May exit crying. I'll bet he's crying all over the place. Okay, so leading up to the week, the Fool. Oh, here we go. The before tarot Fool, and that's yeah. That this really says that he looks like he's ready to take the leap. But he's hesitating, and the dog is usually in this card. The dog is usually the spirit guide, and the dog seems to be barking at him, saying, don't do it, don't do it. So there's kind of this makes sense that there is kind of a hesitation for him to do this. So as we look at this. The indicator. Oh. Six of Cups, because there's a lot about the past that's coming up to haunt him, because apparently it's not good. It's not going to be going back to paradise of being playing pretend CEO at Tesla. Things are not going to go back the way that they were, and that he's probably going to be kicked out, or at any rate that. Okay, so then we have the After Tarot with the King of Wands. They're no longer inspired by him. This is really saying he's really lost. He's come up as the King of Wands in various. He's really, really lost his power. This is telling me that people that may have idolized him, not so much anymore. That his fire has really gone out, and This is the unfaithful king in reverse, and what he's probably going to do is just, take the best offer and all this sort of thing. So. Oh, and he's holding the salamander in his hand, which means no transformation or no awareness of all of the stuff that's been going on. So that's this week, which is drawing to a close. So it's kind of like, how much is he going to leave? He is out of the White House. So let us see. For week number 2, leading up to this, just a quickie little shuffle. Okay, so it's leading up to whatever on week 2. So, very interesting. This is a very interesting 5 of Pentacles with the impoverished woman and the kid out in the snow, and then there's the dog. I think what he's doing, he's kind of trying to bargain for something inside there. Interesting, the second time this dog has appeared, it kind of looks similar too. And again, that's kind of like the spirit guide. He's sort of leaving that out in the snow, not listening to the dog saying that there's no point in going in there, but he's making a try. And of course, there's kind of this bargaining where they've got, as I've said, and everybody knows, they've got stuff on each other. Now that's what's going on there. So that I would say that he's still in the not in the White House as a visitor, but I think Mr. T is about to toss his behind out in the snow. So then, using the other deck, we have got where he'll be out now. So this is telling me that there's a last minute talkings, and but that he is that this doggy outside is saying he's going to be out of there. Okay, so Eight of Wands is saying, oh, he's got a lot to deal with. He's got to, because, he's about to be kicked off the board of Tesla, and he won't have much there. That star thing that his contracts have been canceled. So there's going to be a lot that he has to deal with, and I think that I think the Trumpster is telling him that he's the only game in town now. But he'll make himself busy. To me, this could be like the busy ketamine mind, going like with 50 million different things. Okay, so then we have the very interesting Ten of Pentacles for the afterwards. It looks like very interesting. I hadn't seen this before, but this is very interesting. I thought I had kind of looked at all of them. This is somebody is absconding with the family treasure here. And let's see, we've got is that the old man in there being, yeah. Yep, it's kind of hard to say, but the people in there they're kind of engaged with each other, and they don't notice that the younger one has taken all the money and is starting to run. So I'm wondering if this could be maybe there's a Doge boy or somebody that's kind of absconding with the funds, because it's so much about money. So there is the money, the ill-gotten goods being taken, and I think it's a Doge boy kind of a thing. So that should be very interesting to see at week 2. That maybe that's what's the bargaining, is how much he can take. But it looks as though the other two are in there probably arguing and haven't noticed that they're being robbed blind. Really, really interesting. So on to week 3. Okay, week 3, the before, we have we have the Nine of Pentacles, and usually in the regular deck, she's pretty much engaged. That bird is on her wrist. She's just really caught up with the what's going with her riches inside the walls. But it looks like the bird is flown away, and that is an old-fashioned sense of wealth, is to have a bird like the hawk that she has, or whatever that is that she has on her sleeve. The bird has flown away, so now she's looking outward and wondering what she's gonna, because apparently she can't take the money with her. So this is very interesting. I'm definitely going to need the next card to see what's happening, but it's like it looks like she wants to go, but there's some money stuff that may be keeping her behind. So let us see what's going on here. Very interesting. I'm wondering, whoa, wait a minute. I'm wondering if that's Tesla. Tesla flying away. Tesla was the big bird on the arm as a show of wealth. Yeah, I think that is Tesla. And possibly that space thing. Well, he's gotten some, he's under contract for that, but the rest of the world is dumping it. But at any rate, I think that's the loss of Tesla. So what do we have here? The Nine of Wands. See. Okay. See, this is in reverse. When this is upright, he is pretty much he's pretty much getting ready to, he's kind of patched himself up and he's getting ready to fight another day. In reverse, I think he's trying to find, where is my next battle? I think I'm done here. There's probably, the cords are breathing down my neck. I think my job is done here, except the whole thing is that there's more money. He's considering more money. I mean, the richest man in the world knows no limits to his greed. That is for sure. So, let's see what Mr. After Tarot has to say about this. Give this little guy a quick. Okay, so then we have, as a result of this, oh boy, very unhappy, kind of like a heartbreak, and the dove is for peace. There's no peace. Cups in reverse is, especially the Ace of Cups in reverse, is major substance abuse problems. I would say that at the end of week 3, he may be dosing up on his ketamine. Of course, this is all for entertainment purposes only. But this is telling me he's going to self-medicate, because he could get all the money in the world. He's still not going to find any peace, but you cannot tell him that. So there could be a big, there could be a big breakup, that he has been warming up to a big meltdown with the little, the tiny tears and all of this stuff. So as we go on to week number 4, with the muskrat, how is May going to end for him? Okay, how is May going to end for him? Oh no, we're not using this. We're going to use the other one. Okay, May. And first we have the Queen of Swords, about to be crowned. Okay. This is telling me kind of an anxiety. I think he's really paranoid about his legal troubles. That's why he helped the election along, because he knew with aligning himself with someone else with that issue would render him untouchable. But this is showing a female judge about to be crowned, and when her coronation, and then she will pick up that sword. I would say, kind of follow. There is some anxiety. There's definitely some anxiety that there is a woman, like a female judge. Boy, those two have so much in common, that could make his life miserable. So she is upright. Okay. Then we have, what have we coming up? Yeah, there's someone powerful that could be really cause him a lot of legal if not criminal problems. But so this is kind of like her warming up, and okay, let me get my crown on here, and then let me fix my dress, and I'll pick up the sword. Okay, so this is an anxiety. So, then we have his ill-planted, ill-gotten gains. This may be such a fear that by the end of the month, he really may say, you know what, I know I would love all the money in the world, but I may have to leave some behind. This could be money laundered from whatever he and the Doge boys have been doing that could come back to bite him. It could be real or in his paranoid fantasy, but I'm going to go with real. That his paranoia things are not looking good. I mean, I'm thinking if I were him, I'd be getting out of Dodge really fast, and send little love notes to Trumpenstein, as I hear another reader call him, and tell him how gorgeous and brilliant he is, just to keep him, keep him flattered. But I would do it from some place that doesn't have extradition. That's why I'm saying, oh, that's not a good sign for him. So this may be cutting the losses of leaving some evidence behind. Okay. Then the after tarot says, okay. This is an interesting card because she's sitting, in the classic one, she's sitting up on the she's got one knee on the earth and the other in the pool. So this is, and she's doing alchemy with the water, but she's not in this case. So he's just going to be going on his emotions. Now this is supposed to be intuition, but I wouldn't exactly say that for him. But he knows, in this, this card is also representative of the United States. So I think that what this is telling me is that he may feel stuck here emotionally, but it's not a good idea for him to stay. So he's just working with feelings, and crying, and that also he's not the star anymore, and that he could end up drowning in his own emotions. So I would say that if people don't want to be around him by the end of the month, certainly don't blame them. So I just want to do a very quickie read on his departure. It looks like I think him being out of the White House is a good start. But like any, people that are crazy, he can't quite let it all go. Not yet. So I'm just going to do a quickie little read about where he is at with his leaving. I'll get these cards back in here. Get them mixed up in here so I don't have to do too much shuffling. Oops, one fell on the floor. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I'm kind of wondering where I don't think Europe wants him. I could see him doing like a little European tour kind of thing, but they all hate him so much. They've been vandalizing his showrooms and factories all over Europe. Nobody wants his cars anymore. I don't think the Tesla people want him over there either. So let's see. Let me see about him leaving very quickly. Okay, so we'll see where he's kind of at right now with that. Okay. Just not welcome. He's just not welcome anymore, and he really is being out in the cold. And this is interesting because I'm wondering if the other, because it's not the usual family thing. I'm wondering if the other figure may represent the Doge boys. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so he's really out on the cold and knows that there is no getting in there. He thinks he can, but I think Fotis has really, really had it with him. So we'll look at some of the energy. The energy crossing this is, oh boy, Moon in reverse. Totally bonkeroonies. I mean, just totally. I think that there could be some very unsavory things coming to light. There's like, this has been no growth. It's all been about grabbing the money. And if you thought he was crazy before, he's really bonkers now. So let's see. In the past, oh, I think I'll use this as the past. Alrighty, in the past we have the before to, oh, filling those cups, getting ready for the big emotional meltdown. He thinks he's just, pouring some wisdom or something, and he'll sit there and be the smug merchant. I don't think that's going to happen. I would say this is some big emotional thing building up for him. So let's see, in the present, up to this is Ace of Pentacles. He's really, really, really wrapped up in the whole money thing, and it's a very emotional thing. To me, this is a big stag, this is a big masculine thing. His masculinity is all tied up with his bank account. And it's a very emotional thing. So we've got this in the present, and we use the after tarot for the future. No, we'll use the we'll use that as a result. Okay, so immediate future is, Death card. This means he has really, really got to end this soon. But this is an interesting death because he's not on the horse. He's carrying the horse on his shield. It's kind of like Death is saying, what are you waiting for? Because it's over here. He's paying lip service to it's over, but it's that money thing. So further out in the future, as we head on to, let's say into June, it's he really, thinking in his demented way, he really has to, there's going to be a stabbing of the heart. That someone is going to, it could be El Presidente, that is going to really, this is a heart of betrayal, and there could be some treason stuff with all what he and his boys have been doing that could really come back to bite him, and it looks very stormy, very bad. This is not looking good at all for him. He's ready for, and he's not emotionally stable. He will take it very personally, which does go to that Ace of Cups in reverse in week 3. So the result of all of this is, what is he waiting for? Okay, the result of this is the Queen of, the Queen of Pentacles, who is, I would say, since this is the after, she's not bringing that in, because in the present she's been holding it in her lap. She's ready to let it go. This is what this is telling me, is that all of his business associates, they're getting ready to let him go. It's this is Tesla, but it could be some other things too. So there lies the conflict of about what he's going to do. I don't know why he thinks it's because it's tied in with his masculine. And the thing is that this is the woman emasculating himself. So he's taking this really personally. So, lesson to be learned. That calls for another after. So the lesson to be learned for not him, but maybe for us for having him here. Let's see what we have. Oh, interesting. Interesting. The King of Pentacles. And, I think that bull is going to go charging right into him. This is a very Taurus-y kind of a card. He's still hanging on to it. So what this is saying, the lesson to be learned from this is, if you are not satisfied with what you have, you could be unleashing a raging bull. That's it. That's it. That bull is, look at him stomping the ground, and he could just turn on a dime and gore that king. So the king shouldn't be sitting there holding on to that coin so hard. He needs to get his ass out of that throne and go inside, because he's getting in the bulls. This could be I don't know if that's the bull market. That's when people are investing, but I'm not seeing it that way. But I'm seeing that he's in danger. It's like, you in danger, girl. You need to go. Okay, so I think the conclusion of all of this is that greed may keep him around a little bit longer, even though he isn't in the White House. I think he's trying to stick around for more money, and that's not going to be good. That is not going to be good. I should think that after this, he'd really want to skedaddle. I mean, truly, surely, and truly would want to, because this is where it's not going to end well for him. That Ace of Cups is saying that drug use is just going off the charts, and that will go along with his big meltdown, and then they're going to get him while he's down. There will be people smelling blood in the water, ready to charge. So he may want to put his greed on hold. What a horrible excuse for a human being. But anyway, be that as it may, we've got the merry month of Muskrat May, and he's probably going to end up crying, but it may not be of his own choice. It looks like he'll leave because he absolutely has to. He doesn't right at this moment, but further down the month, he absolutely will have to, and he will yank out at the last minute. That's what addicts do. So at any rate, if I come up with any more topics that I kind of missed, I will do them. So bye for now.